Does this mean we're done? You just use my ship and you go off?
I thought you were dead.
Good evening, you lovely folks. Welcome back to the Roast Mortem Podcast, 1.5 episode of the evening.
Oh, we're doing two of them.
Oh, yeah. We're in a bad marathon state. I am Tom.
I'm Travis.
I am Cody, phoning in from Hawaii. Hello.
And I'm Mike.
And you should be fucking proud of us if you're listening to this, because we're doing it. We're doing it like, what's the guy who runs real fast? OJ Simpson. Just like him.
Yeah.
You guys see his Twitter?
Yeah.
It's really creepy.
Dude, I can't believe they allowed him on Twitter, but he's an innocent man.
You gotta let everyone on Twitter. You gotta let them all. I'm a big fan of just letting it go. See what happens. Party. All right, Travis, I think you have a question or something? I don't know.
How's your week?
Excuse me?
How's your week?
What was that?
I can't hear you.
How was your week?
Cody's in Hawaii. How do you expect him to hear you?
How was your
You're
week?
six-
No one
Okay,
likes that
there we
fucking
go.
question.
Everyone loves a question.
All right.
Everyone wants to know what we're doing.
So my week, 2 failed podcasts,
Oh, yeah?
and then 1 supreme tequila hangover,
Oh.
and here I am today.
I
Wow.
was not there, but I heard you were TNT. Tom needs tequila.
Yes.
Oh, I like that.
That was a goddamn mess. Any cuss words I said in front of children, it's fine. It's fine. I don't remember it.
What's your favorite cuss word to yell at a child?
Wow, I never got asked that question.
That's a good question.
Cunt!
Cunt.
Really?
That's too deliberate.
No, you
Yeah,
have to be
I like
deliberate.
ass hat because it does get the giggle, and it's not too bad as a cuss
Ass
word.
hat's good. Cody, what about you in paradise?
I flew back here earlier this week, so I'm sleeping off some jet lag. It's not good. Tiny macadamia nuts on the plane instead of peanuts, which is
To give you
just racist.
macadamia fucking nuts?
Yeah,
Ew.
it's probably worse than almonds, Tom.
What's up with nuts on plane? Just don't do nuts.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
like
everyone's
nuts.
allergic and shit.
Dude, I'll eat peanuts. I eat nuts like all the time, but I don't need them on a plane.
Yeah, what if the peanut dust gets sucked up into the vents
Well,
and shoots out onto somebody with an allergy?
Here's how to use a seatbelt. Would you like some macadamia nuts? Go fuck yourself.
You gotta like pound on like the overhead panel to like get the yellow breather mask to drop prematurely, just so you don't have allergic shock.
Yeah, turn into a fucking balloon like you got stung by 7 bees.
I don't know anyone who's allergic to... No, I know people.
I know
Never
some
mind.
people.
Me too.
Most people are allergic to something. What are you allergic to? Before we get into the episode, what's it?
Oh.
Quick.
Me?
Yeah.
Avocados.
Okay.
I haven't found it yet.
Okay.
Mold.
Mold. Formaldehyde.
Formaldehyde.
Well, I mean, mold. I mean, isn't everyone allergic to mold?
Nah, some are more than others.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, enough of that dumb.
Mike, what'd you do?
Well, we just started. I went to work. I don't know. Skateboard yesterday.
It's all filler. We didn't start the episode. We don't need to fill for time.
All right.
Okay? Nobody likes this stupid fucking question. I'm not even going to ask you this week. Who are we doing?
No, that's fine. We're doing a man named Travis Lee, and
Really?
he had a great week.
How was your day,
Travis's week?
Travis?
I don't want to get into how great because no one fucking cares.
All right.
You can just follow me
We
at
just started.
you can follow me at Travis Legion.
Just
See how
skip
my
the whole
week
episode?
does. Yeah, whatever. Fuck you guys. Ask me the question.
All right. Who's on the chopping boy this evening?
All right, so tonight we are roasting a pirate by the name of Stede Bonnet.
Steed.
Stede.
Stede.
Yeah.
Steed.
Okay.
That's a horse name.
Yeah, my steed.
It's not for humans. It doesn't matter what your occupation is.
Yeah, well, we're roasting a horse this evening.
Great.
That's not true.
Yeah, we are. This is my horse.
It's like
That was why my week was good. I bought a horse, but you guys never pay attention. I bought a whole horse in a stable.
A whole horse.
You're just saying that because the Kentucky Derby was last week, and I didn't even talk about it.
I was in it. You didn't see
You?
me. I was the
What
jockey.
place did you get?
jockey?
I was the jockey.
I don't know, dude.
huge
What place did you get?
I first 2 times.
Jockeys are supposed to be like 89
I was like,
pounds.
I was 2 ones. So first, twice.
They don't even let 11 horses race. Joke doesn't even make sense.
So tonight we're doing Bonnet Stede. Now
Okay.
this is a very interesting show because we've actually told parts of this episode before from a different perspective.
Deja vu.
Where was I in this?
Well, do you guys remember a little old something called 2017?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
It's actually our 8th episode. We recorded.
Holy fuck.
We recorded Blackbeard the Pirates.
Hey, that was me. That was me. I did that shit.
Yeah, Cody, you did the research.
I can't remember nothing.
Yeah, I don't remember that episode at all.
Well,
For reasons.
I got pirate rum drunk.
I think we were drinking rum.
Dude, well, we know how to party. And we also, I was wearing flip-flops. I think it was the middle of the winter. Definitely worth it. That's what pirates do.
Yeah, yar.
Yeah.
Unless your legs are made of chair stands. What's a chair leg called? It's a chair stand, right?
Chair peg.
Yeah, pegs.
Chair
Who
pegs.
cares?
Pegs.
Dude, pirates are all about pegging, which you might get into a little bit.
Oh, fuck.
Wow. All right, Stede.
All right, Stede. So now, while everything was completely accurate in that episode, Cody did an excellent job. We are an accredited university.
Nice.
We kind of glanced over the real weenie pirate captain of Blackbeard's story, the shithead Stede Bonnet. Now, Cody, I listened to the episode back again, and besides the fact that this was pre-tonsillectomy and I sound like a Kermit the Frog,
Well,
Yeah.
I'm like, so besides that fact, you mentioned, you actually kind of gave away the end of this episode, but before you go back and listen to Blackbeard, which I recommend you do, listen to this fucker first.
It's actually easier if you didn't say any of that, because then they would have just continued listening to this episode.
Okay.
I don't know. What do you...
So
Thanks
all
for the
this
setup,
episode
dude.
is Phil and counterintuitive babble so far.
I'm just setting it up. I thought it's interesting.
All right.
All right, well, I'm done. All right, I'm done. I'm done. You guys, what do you think of? All right, and here's another question, another setup question. We're not there yet.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
What do you guys think of when you think
What
of
is this episode going to start?
So, Bonnet
Oh, we're
setup.
rolling?
This is so interesting. This
All right,
is
cool.
roast.
No, I forgot how interesting. I forgot how interesting this was.
All right, so so what do you think of when you think of like an origin story for a pirate, right?
Pirates of the Caribbean.
No, I mean, like, where do they come from? Where do pirates just sprout out of the ground?
Usually born in England.
Yeah.
To like, I don't know, some Don Vito looking grandpa guy.
A lot of rum, a lot of salt.
It's just the nature of the beast.
Right, you know, they're usually like sailors before, right? You know?
Yeah.
Gotta get your chops
Not
up
just
somewhere.
seamen.
Yeah,
Sea
they're
legs.
seamen.
They're out there doing the regattas on the shit-filled Thames.
Well, that was not Stede. Stede was a rich-ass idiot that had no reason to enter the world of piracy. He just wanted to. It's like, yo, that's cool.
You're trying to fit in, yo.
Yeah. He was so bad at being a pirate, it was said that he actually started the whole trope of walk the plank. The reason why he would have his people walk the plank was because he didn't want to execute them. Like, you go over the plank.
That's like the most passive-aggressive execution ever.
Yeah. Okay, so let's get into it. All right, whatever. Let's get into it.
Wow, I'm so interested. Let's go.
Stede was born south of Bridgetown in Barbados in 1688 to Edward and Sarah Bonnet.
So he was tan.
He was a tan man, but they came from England, so they were
Right.
burnt,
Burnt. man.
crispy.
Yeah.
Got it.
Soccer dad.
Yeah. Now, like I said, Barbados was a British territory and a slave state that was controlled by British overlords. And if you didn't guess, the Bonnets were those overlords.
Yeah, you said he was rich, so...
He's a rich boy. They had 400 acres of estate,
Wow.
loads of money, and Stede was said to be a good little student and a bit of a nerd.
Nerdy pirate. I like it.
People throughout his life actually called him bookish.
Oh, bookish. That's a big insult today.
Yeah.
You don't want to get called bookish.
Never.
Maybe that's what made him become a pirate, because he was bullied too much.
Yeah, Mike the psychiatrist. You're the resident psychiatrist.
I'm totally fine with it. Well, we do have the power as a university to make you a psychiatrist. So your
Yes.
PhD is in the mail, Mike.
I'm working on it.
I just told you it's in the mail. You just have to wait.
So Stede's father, Edward, died in 1694 when Stede was 6 years old. But that left him with a rich size inheritance.
That's
Did he
good.
die from scurvy?
He should have died earlier, probably like right before they were going to name him Stede.
Yeah.
Yeah. Stede is spelled Stede, by the way.
STD.
Yeah, if he was a DJ, he'd be STD.
STD!
Yeah. DJ STD. I love it.
So, in 1709, at the age of 21, Stede marries Mary Allamby.
Good.
Mary Allamby.
Is that Middle Eastern?
Yeah. Allamby.
It's horrible.
Yeah. She married as Mary.
Mary. Try it again, one more time, for fun.
Stede marries Mary.
All right, cool.
Fine.
The two of them quickly blast out 3 sons and a daughter over the course of 5 years.
Got it.
Now, Stede Bonnet had everything an 18th century man could ever want. He had a fruitful wife, healthy kids, except for one that died really young.
Still pretty good.
Still
for back
pretty
then.
good. He had slaves, he had land, and tons of money.
Probably some bananas and stuff, too.
Yeah, what are they growing, bonobos?
I'm guessing bananas. It's always fruit.
Sugar.
Fruit's good to have around.
Pineapple.
Sugar. Oh, are they sugar
Yeah.
cane people?
Lots of sugar.
Oh, rum. Barbados rum.
Yeah.
That's a thing.
Molasses.
Back to the rum.
Yeah. So, just to give you an idea, Cody mentioned this in the Blackbeard episode, that this whole time period of this guy's life that we really know about takes place over the course of about 3 years.
Yeah.
So, all of this stuff leading up to, him being a pirate, like his pirate career only lasted about 3 years. And we know a lot about it, just beforehand is kind of...
It's like skipping a few pages in the New Testament.
Yeah.
And just getting that 3 years of Jesus Christ. So this is
Oh,
going to be
you
a
do
big
that
one.
too?
Yeah. Yeah, he disappeared. He went to Amsterdam. That's what Jesus was.
Really?
Yeah, he was out there handing out
partying.
pamphlets about fucking, I'm your god now,
Smoking
dog.
that legal weed over there in Amsterdam.
Have this space cake.
So while Stede, on paper, it looked like he had everything he could ever want. The problem is his wife that he was pumping full of that Bonnet family cream was super fucking annoying.
It's gotta go.
Really?
Yeah, hated this lady.
A woman? Annoying? What?
Mary nagged and bitched and moaned about everything, probably because she had to deal with 4 kids and one of them is dead.
That's just 3 then.
But it was driving Stede nuts. And in his words, he said he found discomforts in a married state.
Okay, hold on. Prediction here. So these 3 years are basically a midlife crisis that we're going to be analyzing.
Yes.
Awesome.
Exactly.
This is going to be so cool. There's going to be so many strippers.
So between his bitchy wife and screaming babies and shitty little toddlers pooping everywhere, he was like, I gotta get out of here. I'm gonna shoot myself. So he joins the Barbados militia. Now, because he owned land, he automatically became a major, because that's fair.
Of course, yeah.
Now, we don't quite know what his militia record was like, but by the general theme of what the Barbados militia did was just shoot slaves that disobeyed their master. So he was probably just gunning down slave rebellions.
Oh.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Not great. But he wasn't on the sea. He was like a militiaman. Landlubber.
All right.
Also during his years of service was the War of Spanish Succession, which, if you guys remember, our little buddy Charles II of Spain,
Oh, yeah.
he caused that war by having a black ball sack.
I do remember that, yes.
Only one was a black ball sack, Travis. The other one was fine.
Yeah.
Oh, that reminds me of a dream I had last night.
You got a black ball sack?
Let's hear more.
Wait, you were doing the cough?
Let's hear more.
Who's
Hear
grabbing
more
his
about
nuts?
this.
Okay. So we really don't know about his record. That he might have fought in some war, but again, he's probably like a little landlubber or whatever. In 1717, at the age of 29, Stede had enough and was like, I'm sick of all these baby poops. Like, I'm in the militia, but I had to come home and my wife yells at me when I come home.
Shut up.
Shut up.
Why didn't he just... All right, okay, don't take this the wrong way. Serious question. It's the 1800s. Why didn't
1700s.
1700s. Why didn't he just slap that bitch?
I probably would have been fine.
I'm not saying that's justifiable at any point in history, but because it was common
He
practice.
probably was doing it.
And she just wouldn't shut up, but she got louder every time?
Maybe.
Like Lucy.
There's an like only her up volume button was functioning. So every time he hit her, she just got loud.
I'm gonna guess. I'm gonna guess this. You know why that's not happening?
Why?
Because Mary knows how to fucking slap. She can slap
fights back.
I think I'm describing a strong woman.
Badass bitch.
Yeah.
So Stede goes down to the shipyard, and he contracts them to build him a 60-ton sloop equipped with 10 guns that he names the Revenge. I'm not sure exactly. Yeah, what is the Revenge? Why is he calling it that?
It sounds like nothing bad has happened to him except an annoying wife.
Yeah, that's the revenge part. He's
Yeah.
just like, I'm gonna build a huge ship just to piss you off.
Yeah.
I'm sick of the cost of diapers. Revenge.
This is like the midlife crisis thing, but instead of like a red Corvette, it was a 60-ton sloop with 10 guns on the sides.
Which would be the equivalent of a red-hot Corvette today with a vanity plate that said "My Real Babe" on it.
Yeah.
Or getting a motorcycle with a shirt that says, like, bitch fell off.
Oh, the humor that roadsters have.
Okay. So one thing I want to point out about him just buying this ship is most pirates, if you look at majority of them, they didn't have their ship built for them. They stole them because they're pirates.
True.
Got it.
So, and I talk about pirate origins, right?
You wouldn't download a ship.
So without any prior knowledge of sailing, navigation, he unfurled his sails, or tried to, and fucked off to become a pirate, leaving his wife, 3 kids alone in Barbados and taking all of his wealth with him.
He's living his best life.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah, living my best life.
Best life. Yeah, he's just out there. He's surfing around. He's having a good time. He probably left him like a year's worth of toaster strudel to get by.
You guys be right. I'll be right back.
Yeah, you alright?
Yeah, I'm going out for a pack of cigarettes.
Now, did he have like a hilarious scenario in which he brought slaves with him to become his pirates?
No, we will actually get into his crew that he hired.
Okay, because that would be some real bullshit.
No,
if you were just like, you guys are slaves and you just pick stuff all day and, cut sugarcane, you're pirates now.
Pirates
Are you
now.
ready to live your real life? What life?
Yeah. He's like, dude, don't tell Mary. You're coming with me, boys. No, his crew, okay, because, you can't be a one-man pirate on a ship. You need people to, sail the ship, fight, shoot the cannons, all this shit.
Man
the
the
work.
poop deck.
Do the work.
Doesn't sound like he knows how to do any of this.
No, he doesn't know dick.
Awesome.
So most pirate crews, we're talking about a man doesn't know anything about pirate, but most pirate crews paid their crew's wages by splitting the booty that they looted from the ships that they raided, or ports, or whatever. Mm-hmm. This is like typical pirate stuff. Get the fucking, here's your bobby.
The
Booty
blooms.
splitting.
Not Stede. He was like, I got a load of money, so I'm going to pay my men with actual wages. Set up like a pirate HR.
So he did like salary?
Yes.
Wow.
He set up a salary for his men with yoga classes and
Dental, 401ks.
401ks. So him paying his men wages already made him, when he starts meeting other pirates, already makes him a laughing stock.
How much did he pay him? Did he meet the $15 an hour minimum?
He better have. I'm sure he did.
They would have walked the plank.
These were legal workers. They had to fill out they had, W-2s.
Oh, my.
So if you can imagine the Revenge and its 70 paid crew members hit the open ocean, and Stede just walks out on deck and starts shouting, "Arr, yo ho ho, shiver me timbers, suck on my dick."
Really? He's like Madonna when she married Guy Ritchie?
Yeah, no, his crew is just like, this dude is like a wannabe moron. He's never been on the ocean.
Yeah, they're going, yo ho, Captain, wink. And then they look at each other and snicker.
That's actually exactly what happened. His quartermaster, Steve's quartermaster, became sort of the unofficial captain of the ship, and the crew just listened to him and just let Steve pretend to be a pirate.
Stede, you know what captains do on the maiden voyage of their new ship? All of them do this. So it's best if you do this too. You want to take a piece of corn and insert it into your anus and keep it there for a week for good luck.
Yeah.
Does that really work?
Mike, I need you to test this one for us, is what I'm saying.
I'll come back next week with the answer.
Yeah. Stay tuned for Mike's anus.
So while Stede was entertaining his anus, the crew sailed the Revenge from Barbados to the Capes of Virginia. And there they attacked 4 ships, plundering their cargo of cloth, munitions, cash, and other provisions. One of the ships, the Endeavor, was bound for Barbados, so Stede insisted that they burn it so word didn't get out that he was a pirate in his hometown.
Totally.
He's like, just burn that one because, it's going to go to Barbados.
My wife's there.
You're all taken prisoner. Why? Because my wife.
So fully loaded, they sail up to New York and around the east end of Long Island, attacking another sloop that was bound for the West Indies. Tired of all this plundering, they stopped at Gardiner's Island, which is right between the 2 forks of Long Island.
Oh, I never heard of that.
You've never heard of Gardiner's Island?
I don't go out that far, man.
Oh, okay. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about Gardiner's Island. A little side fact here.
Cool.
All right. So an interesting thing about Gardiner's Island is that it's the only piece of land settled and given to a family by the king that still owns it today. So that same family line that was given this land is still the owners of this private island.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
So they're like not taxed or anything by the government?
No, they are. It's just the land was given to them by the king. So Lyon Gardiner, who settled the island in 1639, was given a royal patent by the Earl of Stirling that gave the Gardiners the right to possess the land forever.
So that's like basically a little piece of England, kind of, on Long Island.
Kind of.
Are they all incestual out there, too?
You have to use different money on Gardiner's Island.
Yeah, they drive on the other side.
Well, so our friend, his sister's husband lives out on the East End, and I've actually talked to him about Gardiner's Island because you're not supposed to go there. It's a private residence.
Oh, really?
But he's like he's kind of like you think of the Hamptons, it's all like ritzy, glitzy.
He's almost homeless.
Yeah, he's like a hillbilly dude that lives out there. And he's like, yeah, I've taken my boat out there, snuck on the island. The owner of the island now is Alexandra Gardiner Creel, who is who's the sister of the late Robert Gardiner, who claimed to be the 16th Lord of the Manor of Gardiner Island.
And they've kept the bloodline going by having sex with crabs and eels. Hence making the Creoles.
The Creoles!
Yeah.
So, Gardiner Island seemed to be a stopping point for pirates, as Captain Kidd held the family up for a few days and was said to have kept hidden treasure there in 1699. But that's a story for a different episode.
Wow.
Foreshadowing.
So Stede rolls up to this island, and I'm sure the Gardiners were like, fuck, this happened 20 years ago. These guys are gonna fucking hold us hostage. I don't know, probably bang one of our wives,
Yeah, but it's just a mentally handicapped rich kid coming in with a paid crew of people who don't give a shit.
No.
choose.
Stede shows up and acts the proper gentleman and has some tea with them and buys provisions. Very pirate-like, right?
Hey,
Posh pirate.
So Stede kind of realized, wait, all this plundering isn't really making me as much money as I used to be making I was on Barbados. But he was already kind of balls deep in this pirate life.
there's no turning back.
No turning back now.
I mean, he could just go say, sorry, wife.
Nah.
There is
insane?
turning.
That's not
There's
an
plenty of turning back.
This is Mary Alabalambi Lambi. He can't do that.
She's out there. She's been there on the front yard with a metal baseball bat waiting to negotiate him back into the house.
So someone told Stede that if you're a real pirate, you have to go to Nassau. And not Nassau County? Not Nassau County on Long Island.
Oh.
You have to go to Nassau. Nassau was the pirate stronghold in the Caribbean. It was a pirate collective on the island of New Providence that was run and operated entirely by pirates. You've probably seen that in movies and games and shit like that.
Oh, yeah, like with John Depp and Pete Pan.
Yeah, but the shit was real. So the Revenge set sail from Gardiner's Island to Nassau. They had a few more ships off the coast of South Carolina taking cotton slaves and other stuff, but their luck ran out. The Revenge came face to face with a Spanish man of war. These were 16-foot ships with a crew of 800 sailors that had
shit.
124 guns.
Holy crap.
That is quite a man.
That. Most pirates would just straight up steer clear of them because they're like, I'm not fucking with this massive floating gun. You know?
Floating gun. I love that.
But Stede was like, no, we're going to attack this thing. We're pirates. We're just going to go
got some
right
balls on him.
Yeah.
This poor gentleman manning this crew.
Mike, that's not balls. It's stupidity.
Stupid balls.
So, as you'd imagine, this 124 gun man of war fucks him up. And the Revenge was just barely able to sail away. It had been wrecked. Half of Stede's crew were either killed or badly wounded.
Holy shit.
Oh no.
And Stede himself was seriously wounded. But they made it out alive, just barely.
All right, don't fuck with Spanish men.
Yeah, was his W-2 crew insured? Was that under the company health plan?
They formed a union, workers' comp.
That's just a mutiny.
While the Revenge was slowly sinking, it made its way to Nassau. There, Stede repaired the ship. Why am I'm turning into a pirate. Repaired the ship.
Repaired the ship. No, you're turning Irish because you're drinking.
Yeah. So there, Stede repaired the ship and added 2 extra cannons, because, you know, that was going to make the difference.
All the difference in the world. Yeah.
If he had 2 more, would have won.
Yeah, it's like the chair under the door, you know, like, this'll stop him.
He also replaced his entire crew, and while he was drinking one night in one of the Nassau's pubs, Stede met a Captain Benjamin Horgold. Sorry. Not
right.
whores. Horns.
Did he make up the name Horngold? Was he talking about his dick? Was it a big salty dick? Benjamin's horn dick. Oh yeah.
It's like a horn made of gold.
Oh, cross my 7 seas.
Now, Benjamin Horngold's right-hand man was a man named Edward Teach.
Hey, that's familiar.
Yes, Blackbeard.
Ooh.
Remember when we were younger and we did that?
Yeah.
Wow. It seems like so long ago.
Yeah.
It was about 150 gallons ago for me.
I've accomplished nothing since then.
Yeah. That episode, we were in our 20s.
Oh, come on,
Yeah,
Cody.
me too,
Fuck.
man. Fuck.
Yeah, shut up, Mike.
Oh, make Mike walk the plank now.
So Teach, or I'm just going to call him Blackbeard. So Blackbeard was not the hotshot pirate that everyone feared just yet, but he was experienced, and way more experienced than Stede.
But not nearly as experienced as Benjamin Gornhold.
Yeah, Horngold.
Yes.
Horny
yeah.
gold.
Well, Horngold had that touch of gray, you know, so
Yeah.
he had that fun and, you know. So, I mean, Stede had only been sailing for like a few months now, and he just got his ass blasted by this man of war. So, I mean, anyone's going to be a better choice than fucking Stede. Now, we don't exactly know what Stede's injuries were from this battle, but they must have disabled him in some way. You know, like maybe his dick fell off. Or
He had a limp,
Yeah, limps.
hangnail.
Yeah.
Lazy eye.
Ooh, hangnail! So, Stede made Blackbeard the temporary captain of the Revenge, which he would very much regret in the future.
Is that right?
Yep.
Yes.
Oh.
Once the ship was seaworthy, Stede and Blackbeard, with his new crew, set out for more plunder. We have Blackbeard, one of history's most notorious pirates, at the helm, and Stede Bonnet limping around the deck, telling his crew, "Remember, Blackbeard is just the substitute teacher. I'm the real captain here."
Remember who's daddy.
Yeah.
He's like the guidance counselor on one of those Habitat for Humanity field trips where they have a bunch of high school kids try to build a house. We're here to help.
Obviously, the crew already thought that Stede was a joke. So when they saw Blackbeard as their when they saw Blackbeard, like, this is our captain. But Stede was still paying them wages. So they kind of just stroked Stede's ego a little bit. Like, oh, yeah, you're the captain, buddy. Yeah, that's great.
Keep paying us.
Yeah, send him a Valentine's Day card.
Stede had essentially invited Blackbeard to captain his ship, and he had stolen it right out from under his nose. That's how you get a ship as a pirate.
Yes.
Damn.
Yeah, Blackbeard's like, why don't you just pull over there? We'll get some gas.
He played away his own
go to the
game.
station. Yeah, go to the station. Tell them to fill up. We'll wait out here for you. Wait a minute. Sailboats don't need gas.
Yeah, we need blinker fluid too.
So Blackbeard sailed the ship up to the Delaware Bay. There, he was like, all right, Stede, this is how you plunder ships. And
Wait, was Stede still on the ship?
Stede was still on the ship, pretending to be captain.
Oh, okay.
So, but he had stolen it, but like, you know, I mean,
Blackbeard's
you're
just
the
being
boss.
Blackbeard's just being like a life coach. You just like give him like advice.
He's
how
not
you
giving him a
plunder a ship.
Yeah, but like a life coach helps you do it.
Yeah.
You know, they walk
He's showing
you through the
how
steps.
he's doing it right now. He's plundering ships.
No, I don't know, dude. Like,
Mike, you gotta be careful around these like pyramid schemes. And like life coaches and
yeah.
Can I interest you in an extended warranty, Mike?
Yeah, what podcast have you been listening to?
Coach
Amway's
podcast.
Amway's podcast.
Amway's podcast. So yeah, Blackbeard sails up to the Delaware. He's like, this is how you plunder ships. And he took a dozen ships without much effort. Because, like, if you're a good pirate, you just intimidate. And I think we mentioned this in the Blackbeard episode. These are like long-distance truckers. They don't give two shits about their cargo.
Right.
They don't want to die. Like, you know, you see a mean guy show up and he's like pointing a pistol at you. It's like, yeah, fucking take it. I don't care. So a good pirate really doesn't have to cause too much mayhem and like, he'll just show up and scare them. And that's what Blackbeard does. He takes about a dozen ships. And one of the captains during these hits, a man named Captain Cod, which is...
It sounds like a reject breakfast cereal mascot.
Captain Cod?
Yeah, fish-flavored cereal.
Oh,
I like that.
So this Captain Cod was taken hostage while the crew of the Revenge was looting his ship. And he said that he saw Stede pacing the deck in his nightgown while Blackbeard was in total control. The crew members just blatantly ignored Bonnet as he yelled off orders.
Good.
The man likes to be
illusion.
comfortable. You know what I mean? Like casual Fridays.
So after these raids, Blackbeard headed back to the Caribbean to unload his loot. On the way down, they ran into a ship called the Concorde, which was a 200-ton ship.
Wow.
And was way bigger than Revenge. Blackbeard had successfully captured the ship and claimed it as his own and renamed it the Queen Anne's Revenge.
Also familiar.
Yeah. Now, if Stede was really the captain, that ship would have been his, but, you know, he wasn't really the captain.
You know what? It's all about perspective. Who's taking control here, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Who's big dick swinging?
And isn't
Who's
it
Dom
true
Husson?
that Blackbeard takes Queen Anne, goes on his merry way?
So, yes, Blackbeard is like, got my ship, peace. I'm leaving.
Okay.
Salome.
Yeah, well, so technically, it's not like Stede really lost control.
How so?
Well,
He was just used, I think.
He was used.
He was just the staircase, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, he got walked over, but he's still fine.
It's a little cum dumpster.
That's what he did. A good captain sucks all of his semen's.
Yes.
So Blackbeard goes on his merry way. And, you know, Stede had been kind of shafted a little bit. But you know what? Blackbeard has taught him the rules of the game. He taught him how to plunder, how to raid ships, and more importantly, how to captain a ship. So he sets out with this new, invigorated sense of being a pirate. Sets out for the West Indies to try out what he's learned.
Good luck.
Yes. So he attacked a merchant ship called the Protestant Caesar, which is, I think, one of the stupidest names
It's
I've
a
ever
really
heard.
bad name. I couldn't imagine that thing is loaded with anything but croutons.
It's just branded with little Caesar's logo on the side.
Bunch of
Salad bar.
Protestants
Oh,
on
better.
board being like, it's Friday night. You know what that means? Caesar salad.
So Stede got all types of fucked up, and the ship got away. So this really pisses off the crew, who had gotten used to this skilled piracy that Blackbeard had brought aboard the ship.
What was that word?
Had brought aboard the ship. And mutiny was on the air. Now, a few months later, Stede bumps into Blackbeard. And Blackbeard had been making a name for himself. Remember, they're all kind of congregating around this Nassau area. all
Bumped
these
in at the
pirates.
pirate shop.
And Blackbeard was making out with another captain. Really hard for Stede. I'm fine.
Does this mean we're done? You just use my ship and you go off?
So, you know, they pull pull up along ships, what we might call docking. Right?
Yes.
Okay.
Touching tips.
One of Travis's favorite words, docking.
They're touching tips. And Stede's crew begs Blackbeard to take them aboard his ship. They're like, this Bonnet guy is a fucking moron. We want you as a captain.
All right.
And Blackbeard's like, I got a huge ship. I mean, the Queen Anne's Revenge is fucking massive, so sure. It's got a huge dong of a ship.
Massive uncut ship.
This is some serious locker room talk.
So all of Stede's men join Blackbeard. And while they're at it, they just take the Revenge, too. And Blackbeard places a dude named Captain Richards, another dick joke, in charge of the Revenge.
I wonder how tall Stede was. He's either real tall or real short.
I'm thinking real short.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Napoleon complex.
Like kind of walks like cotton on King of the Hill a little bit. Because he got hit with he's injured somehow.
We don't know that his feet weren't attached to where his knees should be.
Yeah.
We don't know that.
Yeah. So Stede now had no crew and no ship and was like, this isn't good. It's like, how am I going to be a pirate without those things? How am I going to be a pirate without those things? He's all down the dumps. He's thinking about exiling himself to Spain or Portugal and starting a new life.
Whoa.
Is this where famous Stede's paella comes from?
Is that a thing?
I hope so.
Yeah, this is his
You've
new
got to
life.
try the Stede's paella. It's only at Stede's Fridays. I swear to God, I came with Fridays all on my own. Come down to Stede's Fridays. I'll make the best paella, 2 for 1, all you want. I don't know how to measure anything, so it's real big. No one with a black beard allowed.
Yeah, you just put anything in it. It's like a gumbo. Gumbo of Spain. So somehow, with the help of a French captain, Stede found himself as a guest aboard Captain Blackbeard's Queen's Anne's Revenge. Queen's Anne's Revenge.
He just took the cruise?
Yeah, he was like, oh, well, hey, Blackbeard, you're in town on this French ship. Like, there's my ship that I used to own. Can I be a guest on your ship?
Yeah, can I get on here?
Please.
Come on in.
If I come on here, are you going to rape me?
Very valid question.
Yeah.
Just a little bit. Wipe your feet, please.
Just a little bit? I can handle a little bit.
So, yeah, I mean, I guess Blackbeard wasn't too worried about him and probably busy raping him or something. But, you know, now he's the little butt boy aboard the Queen Anne's Revenge.
So he is swabbing everyone's dick. Again.
Yeah, I guess so. We don't really know what he's doing. I mean, he's technically a captain.
Oh, they let him be a captain again?
Well, he's a guest, but he's a pirate captain.
Like the
Like an
janitor.
honorary degree.
Yeah, no, he's not the captain of the ship, but, like, he still has the title of captain.
Oh, okay.
You know? But this time he knows his place. He's the bitch boy.
All right, Stede.
All right, so Blackbeard starts to make a name for himself. He plunders hundreds of ships, and eventually the Queen Anne, good job, Blackbeard, runs aground near Topsail Island in North Carolina in 1718.
Good job.
The hull was cracked and beyond repairing, so I don't know. He's a good pirate, but it sucks to sail.
Gotta find another boat.
Let's make a amusement park out of it. We'll let the kids hang on the ropes.
Yeah,
You know, we'll give them fake mops. They can swab the deck.
swing around.
Put
Yeah,
some
exactly.
fake doubloons inside.
We turned the captain's quarters into a water slide.
Ooh.
So Stede and Blackbeard had heard that the King of England was offering a pardon to all pirates if they gave up their ways before the 15th of September, 1718.
I do remember that from the episode.
You remember that?
I do.
So this is somewhere earlier on in the year, and they're like, hey, we should probably do this. We'll get a free pardon. All the shit that, we did will go away. But the only stipulation was that if they had committed any acts of violence in the past 6 months, they could be held responsible for that.
Oh.
right.
So it's like, if you
Well,
had...
Stede's fine, and he's not even a pirate.
Well, neither of them are okay because Blackbeard had fucked up a bunch of ships in Charlestown, South Carolina, essentially blockading a port. And Cody did a really excellent job of talking about that. It's more of a Blackbeard thing. Stede was just sitting there fucking shivering, like, whoa.
So the king is like, kind of like today. If you're a criminal and you turn in your gun, they won't ask any questions. They just want you to turn in.
Yeah.
And Stede's like, If he were to do that, it would just be like a chicken nugget shaped like a gun.
So, I mean, Blackbeard, because of this whole fucking up this port, was a little apprehensive. So he's like, Stede, hey, buddy, pirate captain. You should go check out the capital of North Carolina. You talk to this guy, Governor Eden, about this king's pardon. You want to do that, buddy? Captain?
Captain Bud, I know you know everything about that. I know that. You get the point. Get over there.
You get it. Just go. Steve's like, well, yes, I am the finest captain of the 7 seas. I shall go. Basically, Blackbeard's just trying to see if Stede's going to get hanged. Like,
Guinea pig.
yeah, he's a guinea pig. Go for it. Stede bumbles his way off to the capital, and he surrenders to Governor Eden. No problem. He receives the pardon. He's like, sweet, clean slate.
Well, it's easy to pardon someone who hasn't done anything.
Yeah, right. I mean,
he's guilty by association.
Yeah, guilty by association, right?
It doesn't mean anything.
So he's like, all right, this is great. I got a clean slate. Plus, they gave me a job. All I have to do is go down to the Caribbean, and I could work as a privateer, which is a pirate by contract.
That sounds like fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, they give me a job. I get to be a privateer. I just got to go back to Barbados and have sex with a woman called Mary with hairy shoulders.
Yeah.
So Stede skips back off to the Revenge because he'd taken a small ship up to this up along a river to the capital of North Carolina. So he goes skipping back to the Revenge to tell Blackbeard, "Hey, the pardon's good, man. We're good."
Cool.
When Stede got back, he found the Revenge stripped of all its loot and provisions and ammunition.
Oh, so it was left up on blocks.
Wow.
Yeah. A few miles off the coast, he found his crew stranded on a sandbar. Some of them were like almost dead.
Like, we're sorry, Stede.
Yeah. And he's like, oh, well, this is why you don't trust pirates. This is why they're mean.
Yeah.
Oh, well, he's repented
Yeah, he's
for
figured it
yelling
out.
in his nightgown too much.
He's figured it out.
It's in the light.
So Stede picks up his crew, or what's left of them, and sails off in the Revenge to get revenge, but Blackbeard.
You
Does that
can't
make
read.
sense?
You can't read at all.
No, it's just
You're
two
not allowed to read.
It's 2 revenges.
Reading Rainbow.
Revenging the revenge.
He's on a quest for revenge in the Revenge to go kill Blackbeard. So he had heard Blackbeard was moored off the coast of Ocracoke Inlet, and he headed out in that direction. Keep in mind, he had no supplies or
Crew, right?
Yeah,
His
well, he
crew
had
left
crew.
him.
He picked the ones
Oh,
up
he
he
picked them
found
up.
on the sandbar.
The ones that were like, all right, if we were one more day away from starving, we would say no thanks. But we got to eat these oats now.
So he has no supplies. The crew is still starving because there's no food on the ship. And he has no way to pay the crew anymore. He can't pay them his wages.
Stede, just turn around, dude. I want to go home.
Yeah.
I hate this. I wish I still worked at Taco Bell.
So after a few weeks of searching for Blackbeard, he just gives up. He's like, I can find this guy. What is this?
What the fuck was I thinking? I don't even know how big Earth is.
I left my compass at home. Fuck.
So now Stede is in a very hard spot here. I mean, firm. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So he's pretty much flat broke. His men were eating scraps of whatever they found in the ports he rolled into. And he couldn't find Blackbeard, which was probably, in retrospect, a good thing because Blackbeard would have ruined him.
Yeah, he probably would have killed him. He was probably thinking of that Dave Matthews song, Where Are You Going, the whole time.
Where are you going? So, Stede was like all set to lead this straight and narrow life. He was like, all I need to do is sail down to the Caribbean, get this commission to become a privateer, and start plundering Spanish ships legally. But the problem was that he was so broke and didn't have any supplies, he couldn't make it down to the Caribbean to sign the paperwork.
Oh, no.
He just stuck off the East Coast.
Should have just listened to Mary be annoying.
Yeah, right.
And also on top of that, if he just returned back to raiding merchant ships like a pirate would, he'd never get this job as a privateer, right? So he's got some problems right now.
Going back to his old ways.
Comes up with one of the most smartest ideas I have frankly ever heard in my life.
Are you being real right now?
So real.
All right.
He just changes his name to Captain Thomas and renames the Revenge to the Royal James, and then starts attacking merchant ships.
Oh,
Clever
no more
go.
paperwork.
Yeah, no more paperwork.
I wonder if he did that all legally too. He made it to a port and was like, "I would like to change my name at the
My pirate
DMV."
vessel.
Yeah. Because now if he rated these ships as Captain Thomas, it's not Stede Bonnet. Do it. Stede Bonnet is a good boy. He's been pardoned by the king.
Stede Bonnet, best guy. He's basically Chef Boyardee of empty cans.
So now Captain Thomas, wink wink, started plundering ships all up and down the East Coast. He actually started shaping up as a legit pirate. He captured a few ships, the Francis and the Fortune, and added them to his fleet. He also expanded his crew size, and he started splitting the loot with his crew instead of pirate HR.
Oh.
So he learned
A thing or two.
He's becoming a pirate now.
I wanted him to succeed with this white collar approach, though.
He cares about his guys.
Yeah.
We'll see.
So after many successful plunders, Stede brought his ship to the Cape Fear River in North Carolina.
That sounds scary.
It does, right?
Scary names.
Spooky river.
You know what you'll find there? Cotton candy. That's not scary. Balances it out.
Ah,
So there he began repairing the leaks in the Royal James by careening it. Now, careening was basically tipping your boat on its side to conduct maintenance on the hull, like scrape off all the barnacles.
just kissing
Got
it.
it.
Yeah, slap some Flex Seal on the holes. You know.
Rubbing his boat.
Yeah, rub your boat down.
Massaging his boat.
It was like a standard thing that boats had to do. They get dirty on the bottom. It's like when I run around with no pants.
Jesus.
I think when you have pants on, you're dirty on the bottom for the most part.
Well, yeah, that's just sweat dirt. It's not real dirt.
All right, so I'm not. This isn't a jab at you or anything, but like as a guy who sits in a basement and podcasts, you fart through your pants a lot.
No, I use those. What are those? The smell pads?
Use a smell.
Use some wet wipes.
Yeah, wet wipes.
Oh, a silencer?
Yeah,
Oh,
fart
jeez.
silencer. So they ended up staying in the Cape Fear River for about 45 days, partially for the repairs, but also they wanted to wait out the worst of the hurricane season. So while he's waiting there, this kind of turned out not to be the best move, because news had gotten out that Stede and his fleet were chilling up in Cape Fear River, and eventually it reached Colonel William Rhett, who was a famous pirate hunter.
Oh, is that like a ghost hunter, but with real stuff?
Yeah, they're actually looking for tangible, real things.
Oh, cool.
So Rhett entered the mouth of the river with his two sloops, the Henry and the Sea Nymph.
Oh, a nymph in your mouth. That sounds delightful.
Yeah,
Guess which one had bigger tits?
Henry. Stede saw the ships and thought, oh, those are just some merchant ships. Hell yeah, I can grab those suckers and plunder them, get food for my crew. It's all good. So, while his fleet was still careened and being worked on, he sends out 3 canoes of men to commandeer the ship. The ships. The Nymph and the Henry.
Okay.
Got it.
Rhett gets all excited. He's like, fuck yeah, that's Stede Bonnet's ship. And it's beached. All I have to do is roll up right next to him and,
Throw
get
fire
him.
at it.
Yeah. And just like that, Rhett ended up beaching both the Henry and the Sea Nymph
Oh, 'cause
in the
they had huge
shallows of the
tits.
low tide.
Oh my
Sucker.
god.
Yeah. So Stede's men approach these beach ships in their canoes and realize, fuck, these ships are armed to the teeth. So they paddle quickly back to Stede and tell him the situation. Now, Stede hurries to get the Royal James, that's the Revenge, back in the water and plans his escape. And while he's at it, he writes a letter to the governor of South Carolina, Robert Johnson, who was a dude that commissioned Rhett. To
Great guitar player.
Yeah, Robert Johnson. He wrote him that he had known that Robert Johnson had sent Rhett after him, and that he would burn all vessels leaving the port of Charlestown once he escaped.
Oh wow.
Ooh,
That's a threat.
fighting words.
Yeah, right.
So at this point, the tide had come in, and Rhett's ships were free. And Stede's plan was to abandon the Francis and the Fortune by moving all of his crew aboard the Royal James. Then he would pass the pirate hunter ships in the narrows of the Cape Fear River and let loose a full broadside of cannon and musket fire as they went by.
Sexy.
Great idea.
Sounds great. Yeah.
Sounds good, actually. I mean,
Just go by, fuck them up.
This is going to work. This real fat guy who's going to beat me up, he's got a toupee. I'm going to rip it off him while he's getting a drink at the bar.
A broadside is the pirate equivalent of a drive-by.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
pretty much.
Of course it is.
So the Royal James barrels down the river at Rhett and hits them with everything they have. In the skirmish, Rhett runs aground. Jesus Christ. Rhett runs aground the Henry again. So Henry gets beached again.
Oh, I can't believe it. You mean that guy on the beach again?
Yeah. But lucky for Rhett, Stede, in trying to maneuver around the ground ships, beaches the Royal James on the opposite shore of the river.
come on, Stede.
So there's these two ships beached like on either side of the river.
Nice. Neighborhood
like-
fight.
Yeah.
This is like some kind of like wacky racers episode you're laying on me right now.
Yeah.
This is the first episode of the Netflix special they're doing based on Waterworld.
So both ships fire back and forth at each other for 5 hours.
Jeez.
Wow.
Yeah, Stede.
Which is approximately 13 musket shots. It takes a long time to load
Yeah.
those up.
Stede was on deck pointing his pistols at his crew, telling them any signs of cowardice would result in a bullet in the brain. And his pirates, Stede's pirates, jeered Rhett's militia to come join them on their deck to fight hand-to-hand like men.
Ooh.
Cool. Yeah.
Eventually, Rhett was able to free the Henry and repair its rigging, and they sailed right over to the Royal James and pointed all of their guns and was like, yo, pirates, surrender.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that was it.
Stede was like, no, this is not it. I am not done here. I am Stede Bonnet.
But wait, what was his fake name again? Thomas.
Captain Thomas.
Captain Tom. I am Steve. I am Captain Tom. I am Stede Tom. I am Rob Thomas.
So Rob Thomas told his first mate to ignite the gunpowder cache, which would blow up his entire ship.
Wow.
And the first mate was like, no, I'm not doing that, you stupid idiot. What the fuck? We got like wounded men on our deck. I'm not going to kill them. By then, Stede's crew had all surrendered to Rhett, and Stede eventually gave in his sword and went under the custody of Rhett and his militia.
So that's the end of Captain Stede.
No, it isn't.
Oh. Stay tuned.
Yeah. So at the end of this 5-hour battle, 12 militiamen were killed, and 18 were wounded, and 12 pirates were wounded. So the pirates did a good job.
Okay.
Average. Yeah.
So Rhett sailed his prisoners back to Charlestown, South Carolina. Stede's men were locked up in the watchtower, and Stede and his sailing master, David Harriet, were taken as special prisoners in a different location and awaited their trial and execution.
Oh.
Now, it's not the end, though. It's not the end.
Sounds like the end.
It's not the end.
Thanks for listening to the Roast Mortem podcast coverage of what goes on next.
Well, I'm saying, like, do you think that little Stede is going to be a slippery boy?
I think Stede is going to weenie his way out. Maybe a couple blowjobs, maybe some promise of, you can bang my annoying wife.
A couple kisses on the cheek.
Yeah.
Yeah, he gave a couple smooches on the cheek to a man named Richard Tuckerman. Richard.
Ooh.
Yeah, he smooched this merchant on the cheek, and Stede and Harriet were able to escape their cell and row off in a canoe.
Ah.
And Governor Robert...
And Tuckerman just looking at the ship, just being like, that was the best blowjob. As they're rowing their way into the sunset.
That Stede was something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Governor Robert Johnson, he was like, fuck! He's like, oh shit! Like, let's hang all the rest of the crew. So as as fucking Bonnet's sailing away, all of his crew get hanged.
Oh, man.
Howard.
Romantic.
Yeah. Then he also places a 700-pound bounty on Stede's head, which is actually 300 pounds more than Blackbeard.
Oh, well, that's a real big paper towel
wow.
roll. You guys get that joke?
I did.
Now, Stede
man.
and Harriet, along with a slave and a Native American man, rode off to Sullivan Island off the coast of Charlestown.
Which is just what Gilligan's Island was.
Yeah, but this is the sequel.
Yeah, it's good times.
Sullivan's Island. Obviously, they weren't going to get very far because they were in a canoe. But Stede and his escaped convicts made camp on the island and began scavenging for food. For
feud, eh?
Nice.
A few days later, William Rhett had heard where they were hiding, and he sailed off to Sullivan's Island. And there was a massive shootout. And in the firefight, Harriet took a bullet between the eyes, and both the Native American man and the slave were severely wounded.
That shouldn't be funny, but it is.
Wounded. were severely wounded, leaving just Stede.
Oh no.
Oh, man.
Now, instead of going out guns blazing like Blackbeard, he just simply surrendered.
What a
Finally.
pussy.
Wow.
Puss!
So what did they do? They shot him right there?
Nope. They brought him back to Charlestown.
Someone kill this guy.
They brought him back to Charlestown to trial. There he was charged with only 2 counts of piracy for commandeering the Francis and the Fortune. In both situations, the captains were there to testify. Now, the trial was held on November 10th, 1718. Stede pleaded not guilty and acted as own defense, representing himself in the court.
Cool.
He brought in character witnesses that were either escaped crewmen or paid witnesses or men that he had given blowjobs to.
It's a lot. It's a lot of people.
A lot of people. Stede could not bullshit the jury, and they found him guilty. 2 days after a stern sermon from a judge about Stede's lack of Christian morals, Stede was sentenced to death by hanging.
Oh, no.
Blackbeard was killed on the high seas while Stede was awaiting execution. And I think one of the coolest roast mortem deaths we've had so far. Cody did a very cool job with that.
Oh, thank you.
Oh yeah.
You're going to have to remind me. I'm going to blank out what you say right now, so the audience has to go back. But how'd he die?
Where are you going?
Wow, that's amazing. I can't wait for our audience to re-listen to the Blackbeard episode. Number 8, right? That was it?
Number 8.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay, so ask me the question.
Who did it to him?
Yeah! Yeah! Okay, so while Stede awaited trial, he begged the governor. Remember, this is the same dude that he threatened he was going to burn all the ships coming in and out of his town. Mm-hmm. He begged him for clemency. He said that he was a new man and that he needed a second chance. He even offered to have his arms and legs chopped off so he
my
couldn't
God.
return to piracy.
Wow.
Peg leg and use hooks.
Anything not to send me back to Mary.
I'd rather die than have my limbs chopped off.
He's basically a worm boy at that point.
Yeah. You know what would hurt too? They probably just use like a fucking cleaver and just chop that shit right off.
Yeah, back then they didn't give a shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get all infected and stuff.
Here's your rum that I'm going to drink, and then I'm going to chop them off.
I'm just like imagining like one of those like kindergarten or pencil sharpeners. You just stick your arm in and they just twist it until you're just nubby.
Oh, goodness. Then he'd be Pointy Stede.
How bad does it look?
So during all this pathetic pleading, the public had actually gotten behind Stede, and you know,
Why?
Free Steed.
because he was a charming gentleman.
Yeah, Mike brings up a great point. Free Steed.
Free Steed.
It rolls off the
Steed.
tongue. Free Steed.
He was a charming gentleman and popular with the ladies, except for Mary.
Well,
Hang on.
I think she liked him. He didn't like her.
he didn't like her.
Popular with Mary, too.
I almost feel like it was one of those like weird Marilyn Manson scenarios. Like, you know, it's a lot of like those true crime goths in Charlestown that are like, oh yeah, he's so dangerous.
Oh,
So dangerous.
did you say Marilyn Manson or Charles Manson?
Did I say Charles Manson?
I don't know. I forgot. But
Is
I
it-
think you said
I
Marilyn
said
Manson.
Marilyn Manson. I did say Marilyn
I was
Manson.
kind of
Yeah.
confused
Either
for a
way
second.
is kind of works.
It's kind of true. I mean, you just have these hideous men,
Yeah.
and for some reason, they're attractive to bushy ladies.
So Stede's execution was actually delayed 7 times because of the public. Wow. But on December 10th, 1718, at White Point Garden, Stede met the executioner and was hanged from the gallows until dead. And here's a picture.
What a job.
Here's a picture of him hanging from the gallows that someone drew. Like,
Damn.
yeah.
Did he get to keep his arms and legs though?
Yep.
You bet he did.
You
Okay,
bet
that's
he
the
did.
important thing. That's
Unless
the
they
important
sewed him
thing.
back on right before the hanging.
And that is Stede Bonnet, I think the wimpiest pirate that ever existed.
Wow.
Probably.
Good job.
Sounds like a
Travis.
dork.
Thank you. Yeah, fucking dork.
Yeah. I don't know. We're from Huntington, New York, so we see a lot of affluent Cold Spring Harbor kids that would probably be similar types of pirates.
Yeah, for sure.
Just houndstooth cardigans everywhere.
Dreadlocks.
Yeah, man. White dreadlocks, my favorite.
Blonde dreadlocks, man.
Yeah.
It's hot, dude.
I want a Yankee candle that just smells like blonde dreadlocks.
Kyle's dreadlock.
Kyle's dreadlock.
Yeah, heap of dreadlock.
Yeah. All right. Well, Travis, thanks for bringing in Stede Bonnet.
Yes.
The most hilarious named roast mortem person we've talked about so far. My name's Stede Bonnet, and my friend's going to be the captain. No, very, very interesting stuff. Real
Yes.
loser.
Yeah.
Yeah, and definitely check out the Blackbeard episode now.
Yeah, go back to it. Listen to it back to back, unless your boss is there.
And in case you should call him over and be like, check out this.
So check this out. Download this fucking RSS feed. Fucking start listening.
Do it. Where's the company credit card? We're going to patreon.com.
All right, so thanks again, Travis. Thanks again, all the listeners. If you're still there, and yeah, patreon.com/roastmortemcast. I don't really care about
Yes.
all the other social media stuff. I'm going to stop saying my own name. I'm done with that.
I
think
want to say my names.
All right, what's your name now?
Say my name, say my name. My name is Travis Legion. We're two E's, son.
Okay.
At Twitter and Instagram.
Cody, where can we find you?
On the Twitter, I am Cody McCann, CODYMCCANN.
Mike.
I'm going off the grid.
All right. Cousins think alike. We're done with this shit. You can
Nice.
find us on the streets.
In
being
real
as
life.
fuck.
Yeah, definitely use that company credit card for our roast mortem.
Yeah, don't forget about that.
Yeah, you know what? Actually, start your own podcast so you can write it off. All right, night, everyone.
Bye, guys.
Later.